All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Seller Hub Performance Insights Workshop. I'm John Valenti, Director of Product for eBay's Seller Hub. I'm joined today by a couple of our great product managers on the Seller Hub team, Alex Chen and Parsethi. And they're going to be coming forward in a bit to share with you a demo of the product, focusing in particular on the elements of Seller Hub that really target helping you optimize and grow your business and understand your business health. So we've already got over 170,000 sellers using Seller Hub. And there's been a transition from this fragmented experience that you've all become familiar with in the past. Right? We've got dozens of tools out there, each with a unique navigational experience, overlapping yet still incomplete functionality at times, and unfortunately even at times conflicting data. So we know from talking to you, this is frustrating and you expect more, you deserve more. So with the recent introduction of Seller Hub, we've gone from this experience to this. So Seller Hub pulls together all the information you need into a single place, be it managing your day-to-day listings and orders, your operational tasks, deep diving into the health of your business, looking at the guidance, managing your marketing. Simply put, it's the one-stop shop for everything that you need to do for your business. But we're just getting started. And while we've built Seller Hub, we very much think of it as your Seller Hub. And what I mean by that is we couldn't have built this without the feedback that we've already been getting, all the input from sellers like you over the months and years. We've talked to thousands of sellers who have taught us about the needs, the pain points that that you're dealing with today, so we can create a Seller Hub product that really meets your needs. So that's what we've set out to do. And so in that regard, while we love the positive feedback many of you have sent, it feels good to read that, and it does have value that we know, don't change this, don't screw that up, they're liking that. But at the same time, when you tell us that something needs to change, we're listening. And those of you that have been in the tool for a while, you know that we're listening because we're making changes in response to that feedback. So please, keep all that coming. Now, in this workshop, we're going to go into these next two items, which are key themes that we've heard from sellers like you. How can we help you better understand the health of your business? What is the data that you really need in order to know what's going well and what's not? Where do I need to focus? And then once you figure that out, how do we turn that into action? It's not enough to just have the data, but we've got to help you derive the insights and give you the tools to readily take action on that. So those are the themes that we've heard. And then from that, we've built up the plan for Seller Hub, and it's really centered around these guiding principles. So we're talking about sharing a lot of data with you. Now, the data is only valuable if it's trustworthy and accurate, right? And so we've really put emphasis on ensuring we're using the most authoritative internal data sources. So for instance, when we show you your sales or selling cost data, that's coming from the very same team within eBay that's responsible for reporting to the Securities and Exchange Commission. So trust me when I say we hold a high bar on data quality. Okay? From that, it's got to be actionable. Again, it's great to have the data, but we are committed to helping you interpret that and turn it into action, and then pull all of it together into a singular, cohesive experience.
All right, let's take a look at the demo. So to first visit Seller Hub, you can log into www.ebay.com/sellerhub, and this will be the landing page that you first experience. With one click, you can get started with using Seller Hub. You can log in using your existing eBay ID, For the purposes of this demo, we'll be using preloaded data, and we'll be logging in as Yeti Collection to protect our sellers' privacy. The first page you'll land on when you first log into Seller Hub is the overview page. And think of this as the place where you'll start every day on your eBay business. Towards the top, you'll also notice other key areas for managing your eBay business, such as orders and listings. Again, I'd encourage you to visit the Seller Hub Operations Workshop to learn more about those areas. For this demo, we'll be going into more detail on the marketing, performance, and growth areas to understand how to analyze your performance information and to use that information to drive insights and actions to grow your business. A couple key modules on this page I'd like to call out are the task list, which helps you prioritize actions you might want to take. For example, you might want to answer product questions from your buyers before printing labels and shipping those items out to ensure that the right order goes to the right customer. A little lower down on this page, you also notice a new module around growth. This one helps summarize recommendations that you might want to take, and we'll also go into more detail on this a little further down in the demo. So to understand more about performance data, why don't we click into the Performance tab of Seller Hub. You're greeted first with a performance summary page. And this page provides you all the information that you need to understand your business health at a glance. Starting with sales information at the top right. You have your sales information about your sales in the last day, week, month, and even quarter. And below in the graph, we showed sales of your daily aggregates of your sales to help you understand trends in your eBay business. One thing that we've heard a lot from you guys, our sellers, is that it's been difficult in the past to understand how much it costs to sell on eBay. What does it cost you to run your business on eBay? Well, no longer. That's because we've added the selling cost module, and with what we know about your eBay fees, and fees that you would incur on any online marketplace, such as shipping label cost and payment processing cost, we can help aggregate that information and summarize that into your net selling cost. With that calculation and your sales amounts, approximate net sales amount is also available below. To the right, you'll notice another new module around traffic. This helps you understand how buyers engage with your listings. And we'll touch on this module a little bit more. Moving down the page, last but not least is your seller level. And I've heard a lot from sellers that it's been frustrating that this information was not easily accessible in the past. It's been hard to understand what you're currently rated as, what your projected evaluation is for the next cycle would be, and what you should do about it. Well, as Yeti Collection, I can see that my current seller level is top rated, and I'm projected to maintain that level for the next evaluation cycle. Below, all the criteria needed to maintain my top rated status are listed below. But if there was anything that I might be concerned about, there would be a red flag to the right of the criteria. And I could take the remaining time until the next evaluation cycle to rectify any problems to make sure my seller level remains the same or improves. So, one thing I noticed when I first logged into this page was my sales have dropped 3.9% compared to the previous month. That's a significant drop for me as a large seller, so I want to take a deeper look in a detailed report. This is the detailed report for your sales information. And you'll notice below, you have daily aggregates of your sales amount to help you understand trends. The gray line in this graph also helps you understand how you did in the same time 1 month ago. In this case, May 15th to June 14th of this year. Looking below, you have the same information available for each of your listings. Let's take a look at our top seller, the Burberry Pursom Ladies Trench Coat. And we can notice that month over month, this listing is performing about 50% worse than it did in the past. What I want to understand more about this decline in sales and how that contributes to my overall sales performance is this drop due to seasonality? And one thing I can do is to adjust my benchmark period to compare against the same listing period but last year. So I can do that by scrolling to the top of the page and changing my benchmark date to the same time last year. One thing that I want to mention is that your data is available all the way back to January of 2015. So take advantage of that if it helps you. Clicking into the benchmark, I can see that compared to the same period last year, my sales are actually up by 2.9%. But looking at my top seller, the sales have still declined by 40%. This indicates to me that this drop in sales was not due to seasonality, and there could be other factors at play. So to investigate more, I'm going to take a deeper look into traffic information. On this page, you'll notice for the first time, eBay is representing the entire buyer journey when buyers engage with your listings, starting with listing impressions on eBay. This helps you understand how often links to your listings appear on eBay search, your store, or other places on eBay. Below, you'll notice the click-through rate. This helps you understand when buyers see links to your listings, how often are they clicking in and actually visiting your listing page, which is noted up here. And after a buyer lands on your listing page, your sales conversion rate illustrates how often that listing page view converts into actual purchase, a transaction over here. Below, we show the same information for each of your listings. Now, continuing with our story, let's take a deeper look at our Burberry trench coat. Our top seller is currently garnering the most amount of listing impressions out of all our listings, which looks great. But let's take a deeper look at the click-through rate. I can click here to sort. And I notice that for my Burberry trench coat, the listing has actually dropped to around the 8th place. With comparable items such as the polo shirt garnering 1.6% and the Patagonia fleece jacket garnering around 1% of click-through rate, I know that this 0.7% click-through rate is a little lower than I'd like to see. What I'd do next is to click into my listing to find out more about it and potentially improve the main gallery photo or the listing title, which would compel my buyers to click into my listing to learn more details about it when they see it on search. So this is one of the many things you can do with our full suite of detail reports available in the performance area of Seller Hub. I'm going to take a step back and go back to the summary page. We've also heard from you, our sellers, that it's been difficult, while useful, the information is also difficult to piece together, which is why we've introduced a sales perspective module on the top left. The same insights we've derived by walking through the detail reports are summarized cleanly here. You can see that compared to the last month, my sales have declined by 3.9%, while my comparable market is up slightly. And while compared to last year, my sales appear to be growing, the market is growing at a little faster pace. That means to me, as Yeti Collection, that there's more potential for me to optimize my business to grow at a comparable or exceed the market rate. Below, we help identify key factors that could be affecting your sales drop. In this case, a drop in overall listing impressions of 4.6%. And below, we guide you to the right detail report so you can make more informed decisions on whether you want to make changes to your listings.
Hey everyone, I'm Parth. Well, Alex talked about how do you use data to analyze your business. I'm going to talk about how to use recommendations and comparative insights to actually grow your business. And for that, we'll jump into the Growth tab. Now, this is the landing view that you will see in the Growth tab. This is all about recommendations. You will also notice that we have completely rethought the way we give you recommendations. So we exactly tell you what exactly you need to do and how it will benefit you if you take that action. Out here, we show you 3 kinds of recommendations. Let's go through them one by one. Up front, you would see a recommendation on adding product identifiers. Now, this is basically a set of listings that could benefit in search ranking and also traffic from outside eBay, which is, say, for example, from Google. And if you were to put identifiers for those products, and once you know what those products are, you can actually click into this edit listing link and edit them in bulk. The next is top rate plus benefits. Now, this exactly is a set of listings that can have a top rate plus seal in the search results page if you were to commit to a 1-day handling time and 30-day return shipping. And again, for that, you can go to edit listing and change that listings. The most interesting part of this page is down here, which is underperforming listings, which essentially is a set of listings that eBay thinks are not performing as per the potential. And for these, you will also notice that we actually mark out the likelihood percentage of sale. This is the percentage likelihood or the probability of sale over the next 30 days for those listings. And this is determined based on shopper behavior. So we look at shopper engagement with your listings and we know if actually that will result in a sale or not. So it's a very helpful list to have. It's sorted by the newest recommendations on the top. Right now, I know this camera listing, Canon listing that I had earlier. I'm going to click on it and see what exactly the recommendation is all about. So I click into it, and I see here that I'm told to reduce the price to improve the performance of my listing. I'll scroll down to see exactly how much I should reduce the price by. Once I get here, I see a trend line of my price in gray over the last 90 days compared to the price of the comparative listings in blue. And I see here, while I was priced reasonably lower than the market in the beginning of the 90-day period, over the time, the market has actually shifted, and now I'm priced a bit higher. So that means I should probably reduce the price a bit. To see specific listings that are my competitors, I go down further into the grid. This grid actually shows you all the active as well as ended listings. In this case, I have sorted this only to look at active listings. And I'll see here that while I'm asking for $9.98 in shipping, there are listings which are currently active on the site for $8 without shipping, including shipping. So for sure, I'm actually a bit higher priced. With that understanding, I can scroll up and I can click on the edit listing button and make that change. Now once I have done that, now I want to get the same information for a lot of my listings, not only the ones that are underperforming. And to access that list, I'll go into listings improvements here. Now this page essentially is something that was launched around a month back based on the feedback from you that you want to get comparative insights for a lot of your listings. So what it currently shows is comparative insight for all your active fixed price listings with product identifiers. And it's sorted in default by day since last sale, highest to lowest. Now right now I'm actually keen to understand a few of my listings that are listed very recently, and I want to see how they are performing and how I should optimize them. So I'm going to change the default sort to make it day since last sale, lowest to highest. And out here, this calculator listing actually catches my attention. This is something that I have 3 quantity of, very rare for me. I don't sell multi-quantity much. So I'm going to see how I can optimize this listing and capture more opportunity. So to do that, I'll click on See Competition. Now once I do that, this page confirms to me that it's been live for 6 days, which is not too long, but I think I can do much more. So I'm going to scroll down and look at the price trend line, which is something that I showed you on the previous page as well. Now out here you will see a different story, which is my price in gray is actually lower than the price for the competition. And these dots, which are actual sales for similar items, also confirm that some sellers have sold for higher price than mine, while I have actually not had sales. I'm trying to now understand what exactly might be the problem with my listing, why it's not selling. So to do that, I scroll up and I look at, is your listing getting attention, which essentially tells me, are the shoppers engaging with my listing? I click on that, and that shows me this grid of impressions and views for my listing in the leftmost column, with the sold listings with the same identifier in the middle column, and sold listings from the same category in the rightmost column. I see here that my impressions are pretty much on par. I'm getting 37 impressions. My competition got 48, so that's fine. The problem is click-through rate, which is 1.6% for me compared to 2.8% for the sold listings with the same identifier, which means that on the search results page, buyers are not clicking into my listing as often as they are clicking into other listings. And from my experience, I know that there are 3 factors that determine the click-through rate. One is photo, second is title, and third is price. Now to understand which of these factors I might want to optimize, I scroll down and I land on this grid that again you are familiar with, which is a list of all the similar listings that I have. Now in this case, I have sorted those listings only to focus on the sold listings right now. I look at the price. I'm charging $3.99 plus shipping. There have been, however, competitors which have sold for $11.50 including shipping, $11 including shipping. So that definitely means I can increase my price. Price is not a problem. Now let's focus on the other 2 things, which is title and photo. A quick look at the title tells me that I'm actually missing the keyword Texas Instruments. Everyone else has that keyword, so I should definitely get that right. The second thing is the photo. And I look at it and I see my photo is a bit dark. Everyone else's photo looks nicer. And also I don't have the flap in the main photo next to the calculator. Everyone else pretty much has that. So with this understanding, I scroll up and I change the title and photo, and I also increase the price a bit so that I still sell pretty good. And I'll go ahead and click on edit listing to make that change. Now once I'm done with this, now I'm keen to clear out my closet of all the listings that have been there for long. So to do that, I'm going to click on listings improvements, and I'm going to maintain the sort, which is day since last sale, highest to lowest. So it shows up my oldest listings first. Now here, this listing on Genevieve Diamonds Quartz Watch band actually catches my attention because I'm ramping up on wristwatches and bands, and I want to get some of these older bands out. So I click on see competition to understand how I can actually sell this listing. Now I see that this listing has been on my shelf for 522 days, quite a lot of time. I look at the shopper behavior, and here I see that my impressions per day on an average are 12, whereas the competition, which is the sole listings in the same category, get around 200 impressions, which means I'm not getting enough traffic into my listing. I scroll down and I see this note which tells me that my listing is reasonably unique, so there's no exact match for my listing on eBay. And that tells me, again, there might not be enough demand for this particular wristwatch. So there's only one way for me to actually sell this listing, which is I have to figure out how to get the traffic on this listing higher, because traffic is a problem here. One idea is to piggyback on the high traffic listings that I have. So I have a few wristwatches which are very high traffic drivers. I'm going to run a promotion, so when they land up on those listings, they could see a 25% promotion on this listing, for example, and then they can buy that. That's the way for me to convert traffic from those listings into this listing. And to do that, I can head into the marketing tab. Now the marketing tab actually tells me pretty much what promotions I'm running, what's the sales list I'm getting, and I can click on manage promotions and actually create a promotion we talked about.